My name is Angie Knox. We will be discussing education reform. Education reform is the goal of changing public education. Historically, reforms have taken different forms because the motivation of reformers has differed. In the beginning, 1642, Massachusetts passes the first education law April 14. 1779, Thomas Jefferson had an idea for free public schools for all. His idea was not adopted at this time, but is the basis for education today. The first public high school opens, Boston English High. In 1870, Elementary Education Act of 1870 in England and Wales provides education for children ages 5 to 13. By 1918, all schools in the U.S. require students to complete elementary school. 1965, Elementary and Secondary Education Act by Lyndon B. Johnson. 1994, Approving American Schools by Bill Clinton. 2002, No Child Left Behind, George W. Bush. 2010, Race to the Top, Barack Obama. The Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 was passed on April 9th. This is the most expansive federal education bill ever passed. It is significant to note that the bill was enacted less than 3 months after it was introduced as part of President Lyndon B. Johnson's War on Poverty. The goal? To close the skill gap in reading, writing, and math between low-income urban and rural children and middle-class suburban schools. The research. According to the U.S. Department of Education, students from low-income households are 3 times more likely to be low achievers if they attend high-poverty schools as compared to low-poverty schools. The consequences? We went from general aid to categorical aid, tying federal dollars to national policy concerning poverty, defense, or economic growth. Religious conflict linking aid to educational programs directly benefiting poor children in parochial schools. Reliance on the State Department to administer federal funds. This was promoted to avoid criticism of federal control. That was under the laws of 1965. By 1994, we were improving American schools. Prior to ISA, the Title I program under ESA permitted states to use achievement standards for economically disadvantaged students that were different from and less challenging than those for other students. ISA requires standards for Title I and non-Title I students to be the same. 2002's No Child Left Behind strengthens Title I accountability by requiring states to implement statewide accountability systems covering all public schools, and student assessment results must be broken down by poverty, race, ethnicity, disability, and limited English proficiency. More choices for parents and students gives students the opportunity to attend better schools. Ensures every child reads by the 3rd grade. Race to the Top implemented rigorous standards, high-quality assessments, attracts and keeps great teachers, supports teachers, revises valuations, compensation, and retention policies, supports data systems, demonstrates sustaining education reform. How does all of this affect education today? We have increased accountability from schools, both teachers and students. Yearly standardized tests were mandated. Annual report cards that detail student achievement data and demographics are required to be published. Schools are now accountable for adequate yearly progress. If they fail, not only punitive but also corrective actions may be taken. So are we closing the gap? In an effort to find results where we are not teaching to the test, we will look at the NAEP reading scores. As you can see, scores have risen slightly, but it does not appear the gap is closing. This is brought to you by Knox Knox Who's There Productions. Thanks for watching.
Created using Powtoon.